What's up guys, this is going to be the first episode of a mini-series that I'm hoping to start, which is basically going to run through all the different classes and hopefully throw out some tips and tricks to help you improve with them in more a pub situation than a comp situation. Now, I'm not a pro at each class, so I'm going to be going to a lot of friends I know who are really good at each class and get their tips to help me make a lot of these tutorials. But I thought we'd start off this week with the class I probably know best, and that's going to be the soldier. Now, I'm going to quickly run over some of the standard loadouts for Soldier first, but if you want to skip straight to the gameplay tips, just go to the 4-minute point in the video. So I'm going to start off today talking about a lot of the different loadouts which are really effective as Soldier. So this loadout here is my stock loadout for playing in a map with not a very high skybox where there isn't a lot of jumping around involved, and preferably your team has a fair number of medics who can keep you up to a decent amount of health. So what this has is the standard rocket launcher, which should just be your default option unless you're planning on doing anything fancy. Then you've got the shotgun to help out with just dealing that extra damage if you run out of all 4 shots, or dealing with a pyro who actually knows how to reflect. And then for your melee, the escape plan, you can mix this up and try out the market gardener or the pain train if you really want to be a team player, but I really find that the escape plan can be really good for not only getting away, but if you are in low health, just getting to a health pack quickly so you can get back in the fight. Now, a lot of people think that the nerf on the escape plan, was kind of a big deal, but in reality, you're really only using the pain train when you're at less than 40 health. So at that stage, if a pill hits you or a rocket hits you, or you pretty much take a lot of different kinds of damage, you're going to die anyway. So it really wasn't that severe a nerf for me. So next up, this is the loadout that I probably use 80% of the time when I'm playing Soldier, because in pubs you really don't have a medic, and most maps have got a reasonably high skybox with a lot of jumping involved. So this loadout here really involves the standard rocket launcher again. You can use the original or the default, it really doesn't matter. But the key difference here is the gunboats. Now, what the gunboats do is so essential for Soldier. The Soldier is almost a more diverse, is probably the most diverse class in the whole game. It is able to get from A to B faster than the Scout, it is able to go up and down, and it is able to deal an incredible amount of damage. So what the gunboats really allow you to do is take the most advantage of the abilities of the Soldier, and really navigate all around the map in the fastest time possible. Now, once again, the melee weapon is pretty much up to you. A fun thing to do, because rocket jumping really won't cost you a lot with this loadout, is you can use the market gardener and just go for some fun kills with only 15 damage or 16 damage I think per rocket jump, depending on how close you shoot the rocket, and you can have a bit of fun with that. So finishing up here, we've got the two kind of other loadouts. So with these ones, I tend to kind of mix it up. So I generally like running the gunboats as a standard on most of my classes. And with the primary there, if they've got sentry guns and stuff to take out, I'll pull out the direct hit. Or, maybe mix it up with the Liberty Launcher, the Cow Mangler, Black Box, Beggar's Bazooka, all those kind of fun different weapons. That's what I kind of reserve this class for. And there are different situations for all those weapons when you can kind of use them and they really come to their own. And last up, you can see here just my standard market gardening class. Pretty standard, nothing special. You know what it's about. It's what I think you and pretty much everyone else should use when going for market garden kills. Okay, so in this first clip here, you can see me using the class that I first pointed out, and that is using the default rocket launcher, or as I'm using here, the original, and then as a secondary weapon, throwing down the shotgun, and then following up with a melee of your choice. Basically here, I'm using the escape plan, just so I can move around fast when I'm on low health. Now, this class really pairs best when you've got a medic with you, because you don't really need the gunboats, as keeping yourself up on high health or worrying about damaging yourself really isn't going to be a primary concern. Now, I think the biggest tip I can give you with Soldier is, and the biggest mistake that I see most soldiers make, is where to aim. So a lot of people think that it's best to aim directly at your target, but this basically means you're just going to find it a hell of a lot harder to damage anyone. As you can see in this clip, the majority of the time where possible, while I'm aiming at my target, I'm also trying to hit them at their feet and really take advantage of all the splash damage the rocket does. This means that, you know, you'll hit surrounding enemies, and also, if you miss, it's not just going to sail past them. Now, this really leads me on to the second point in regards to the soldier, and that's really talking about where you position yourself. So, as you can see here, me and my medic have found a kind of high up spot above everyone, and then we're using that to shoot down on everyone. This basically maximizes the kind of area we have to shoot at people's feet. If you're aiming at someone from straight on, then it's quite hard to get the splash damage at their feet because the area you have to aim at is a lot less. When you're shooting down on someone, it makes it almost impossible to miss. Now, this will really maximize the amount of damage and your overall accuracy with the soldier. So the second really good tip that you can do is, a lot of the time you're going to have classes charging at you, whether that be a spy or pyro or, you know, one of those other classes that you just don't want plus 14. So the best thing to do when these classes are really attacking you is you want to aim directly at your opponent, but not necessarily to the side. You want to try and aim directly at their feet. What this is going to do is this is going to pop them up into the air, and this will mean that they can no longer walk forward. So if you're getting plus 4'd by a pyro, this means that they can't continue to WM1. So from here, you can just simply flick your aim up and either midi them, or continue running if you're on really low health. Or if you're not quite as confident in going for a shot in midair, you can simply wait for them to land on the ground and then shoot them there, and it's an easy kill. The other important thing to think about is how best to take use of your shotgun. So while it really doesn't have the same DPS as your rocket launcher, it does have a lot of really, really good situational use. So sometimes, you know, when you shoot that rocket at your enemy's foot to pop them up in the air, they are going to be on really low health, and or you might also be out of rockets. So you can quickly do a switch to your shotgun and just get an easy meat shot while they're in midair. The second really good time to use it is if you're fighting a pyro who actually knows how to air blast. In that case, you just pull out your shotgun and you can slowly chip away at them and they will die. Okay, so up next we move on to my second loadout that we discussed at the start, and that is using the normal rocket launcher, be it the original or default, the gunboats, and then the melee of your choice. So this is the roaming soldier loadout. Now, what this loadout focuses on entirely is mobility. The whole point is to be as mobile as possible and to get around the map as fast as possible. Now, this class operates really well behind enemy lines. So as you saw in that previous clip, the ability to get behind the enemy and surprise them is really, really essential. With this class, you really want to focus on using jumps to the best of your ability, because they really will only cost you about 15 health per jump. And if you think about if a rocket's flying at you and you use a 15 damage jump to dodge that, then the cost really isn't that great. You're going to see this pyro come at me all the time throughout this game and never quite manages to get me, although there are a lot of close calls. So once again, you can see here I'm trying to take the height advantage, because the ability to shoot down on all your enemies is really important. Now in this clip here you can see that I've jumped over the middle of the point and I've taken a position behind the enemy. What that does is really allows me to surprise people as they come out of spawn. Now occasionally, like you saw there, the enemy won't really be watching, and that's a good time for you to come from a direction that they really just don't expect. The gunboats are also great for a situation where, like you can see there, I'm on 44 health. I'm in no way going to be able to fight off those enemies in a 1v1, so instead you can use that to quickly get away and take yourself out of danger, and then bring yourself back to pick up some health, which you can reach really quickly using the gunboats, and then come back and fight another day. Now, in this clip here, you can see me doing what I was discussing last time when we were talking about the previous loadout, and that is bouncing people in the air. So you can see I got plus 4'd by that pyro there, and by shooting a rocket at his feet, I delayed him long enough to back up and make sure that I didn't get lit on fire by all his flames. Now you can see this then happens again the next time that same pyro comes to hunt me down. All you have to do is wait for him to come, shoot a rocket at his feet, bounce him in the air, and then you can either try and shoot him directly like I did there, or you can just wait for him to hit the ground and shoot his feet. The advantage of when they're popped in the air is they have almost no ability to strafe out of the way of your rockets. Because they're popped up directly, they can't walk left, they can't walk right, they can't walk back. You've locked them in a single position from which they're almost powerless to stop you shooting them. Now, as you can see there, I closed the distance on that enemy really quickly. The gunboats allow you to really attack people at a moment's notice, and this means that a lot of people might not view you as a threat because you're all the way across the map. But in half a second, you can do 1 or 2 rocket jumps tied together, and you can be at the opposite side of the map attacking a sniper who didn't see you as a threat 3 seconds ago. So, just to review, this is probably the most essential soldier class, this loadout right here. So, the 2 things that I just really have to stress are mobility and height advantage. So, all throughout this video, you've seen me using the ability to have really cheap damage rocket jumps, to navigate the battlefield really quickly, surprise enemies that are not expecting me to be there, get behind them, and then get out of situations where I'm on low health and I would probably die if I don't get away quickly. Just a quick little tip if you're wanting to use the direct hit to kill enemies rather than just sentry guns. Try and position yourself in a place, like I am here on Harvest, that forces the enemy to jump me. This basically puts you in the best position to take advantage of that critting enemies while airborne factor. The best way to actually hit these middies is to, as you can see here, I wait until the target is at the apex of their jump, so they're sitting almost completely still in the air. That's when I fire my shot, and it basically gives you a almost stationary target to fire your shot. Last up, when it comes to stuff like using the market gardener, just, jump around, experiment, have fun. It's a great way to actually, learn the basics of rocket jumping in games, which, you can then transfer to basically every different variation of soldier loadout. So, as usual guys, I would love some honest feedback on the video. Like it if you liked it. If you didn't, please tell me in the comments, what you'd like to see in the next video or how I can improve. If I missed anything out, I might make another video on it, or if, it's just a small thing, ask the question below and I should be able to answer pretty much every comment. So, thanks a lot for watching guys. I'll see you for the next one, which should probably be Spy. See you later.